Automotive journalist Matas Karat says things are looking up for the car world. That's the general feeling at the 81st Geneva Motor Show, and it's reflected by the number of new models being premiered by manufacturers here. Porsche has unveiled a hybrid version of its popular Panamera, for example, and its parameters are spectacular. It harnesses a hefty 279 kilowatts, but only burns 6.8 liters of super unleaded fuel per 100 kilometers on the road. The German carmaker's marketing director Bernhard Meyer says that the new Panamera can drive up to 75 kilometers an hour on electrical power alone for up to 2 kilometers at a stretch. The car can also sail at up to 165 kilometers an hour, he says. That means when you take your foot off the gas at that speed, it disengages the powertrain completely. If you need to accelerate again, for example to pass, then the car turns back on within a fraction of a second. And it's very comfortable, he remarks. The driver doesn't notice a thing. Mercedes is also launching a new model in Geneva. It's C-Class Coupe. Up front, the newcomer resembles the other members of the class, but also makes a few individual statements. The rear leaves a sporty impression, and in spite of its dynamic look, the C-Class Coupe is a full-fledged four-seater. And Mercedes is also giving visitors to the show their first glimpse of the latest generation SLK. In terms of styling, it now leans more heavily on the look of the SLS AMG. And for the first time, the Roadster can also be had with a diesel motor. Not to be outdone, Volkswagen has also brought the long-awaited Golf convertible to Geneva. Matas remarks that it's the first Golf to have a roll bar, and the soft top can be opened electrically in 9 seconds. Other than that, VW is sticking to its conservative approach to model development and looks. The new Tiguan is also on display at the motor show, but alterations have largely been confined to a few cosmetic changes to the nose and rear. Another eye-catcher at the Volkswagen stand is its new concept van. With a cutting-edge retro look, the minibus is powered by an electric motor with a range of around 300 kilometers. Chevrolet has also added a fastback to its Cruze lineup for the European market, and a notchback variant of the new Aveo is also getting its share of attention. But a real eye-catcher is, of course, the Camaro, especially the convertible model. Rai Huzatovic says the Chevrolet is an American brand with Swiss roots, and since the first major fair of the year in Europe is here in Switzerland, they thought they would take the opportunity to celebrate it with a wide range of products. The Aveo and Cruze are 2 new cars that Chevrolet hopes will also make a splash on the German market, he says. In general, the company wants to help drive its growth strategy with gains in Germany's compact segment, especially with the Cruze, and the hatchback is certain to gain customer approval there. With the XKRS, Jaguar is presenting one of the most powerful vehicles the manufacturer has ever made. The 405 kilowatt engine can catapult the model from a standstill to 100 kilometers an hour in just 4.4 seconds. It has a top speed of around 300 kilometers an hour. Jaguar spokesman Karl-Peter Forster says the carmaker wants to show its full range of models here and reveals the Jaguar XF will soon be available with a 4-cylinder diesel with emissions of well under 150 grams of CO2 per kilometer. They're here to show everything Jaguar can do. And Smart arrived with its unconventional city car concept, the 4-speed. Matas says the windshield looks more like one for a motorcycle, and there's no roof. Instead, there are drainage holes in the floorboards for when it rains, and a powerful electric motor in the trunk. The concept car is meant to provide a look at the future Smart and what it's planning for electromobility, he says. Just a few meters away, Land Rover is showing the prototype of its diesel plug-in hybrid. The 3-liter diesel Range E is based on the Range Rover Sport. In electric-only mode, you can only drive at 32 kilometers, but total range increases to more than 1,000 kilometers in hybrid mode. Finally, Mattes turns from the future back to the past, to the year 1900 to be exact, and the car that inspired this replica. The loaner Porsche Sempervivus was the first hybrid ever made. That's all for now from this year's Geneva Motor Show.